you know,
No, exactly. And you're totally
so.
right. I'm just getting my coffee here, but
Okay, yes, get that coffee.
I'm a firm believer, and I don't know, people who are watching can let us know, but I think the external change, of course, that's the first one you may see. But when we are more in touch, let's say with our awareness and our consciousness, we realize that actually the change happens internal first.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Most of the time. And it manifests in our reality through those internal changes. But however, let me know also what you feel about this or think about this, but there are external factors that are out of our control, like the Tower moment in the tarot, or Uranus and Taurus at the moment, or the full moon in Aquarius that we had yesterday, that bring on external events that push us, or like it's a catalyst change almost. Like, anyway, in evolutionary astrology, we have two types of change, and we have the slow and steady evolution, and we have the catalytic evolution, where there are events that are out of our control that push us for that change. I don't know. What do you think about those two?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I like what you said, like about there's the slower changes, and then there's like the catapult changes. Like, yeah, I can definitely see that in my life for sure. So.
Yeah, and I was reflecting on my own life, having a conversation with my partner, and I was like, how do you view your life's process and your life's evolution? And at first he said slow and steady, and that's what I feel my evolution has been, pretty slow and steady. But the more we got into his life events, we're like, no, that you had, like, he had major catalytic events happen that were prompting him, and like almost like it's like his soul was screaming for the change, but he didn't listen. So there was lots of things that happened to push him into change, right? To push him into that evolution that he needed. So it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go see the comments just real quick before we get into it a little more here. But first, I'd like to say welcome to our live. This is you're with Brandy and Jessica, if you don't know yet.
Hello.
And if you do, welcome. If you already know us, welcome. And if you don't, well, we're Brandy and Jessica, and we love to discuss about the cosmic energies and give our intuitive insights and really help you, support you on your soul's evolution and your soul's growth and your ascension, basically. So hello, Natalie. Good morning. So we have Sonia saying that she's feeling jittery this morning. I feel old patterns wanting to resurface. So we could probably definitely get into that with the change. Alicia says she's tired, but still optimistic and moving forward. I'm also feeling tired. So yeah, I was saying that to Jess yesterday. Alicia saying so many internal shifts that are coming to my awareness. Hello, full moon in Aquarius yesterday. And Sonia saying it's very internal for me as well. And Alicia saying so many outside influence on our internal world. All right, ladies, thank you for sharing that. Well, everything they said, I can relate. I can definitely relate. How about you, Jen?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Yeah.
So what were you telling me about the changes that you're facing this morning? I think that we're going to discuss a little bit about the change and how we're experiencing these astrological energies in real time, in practical time.
Yeah. Yeah, and I keep thinking, I'm like still thinking about what you said about like the slow and steady changes and then like the catapult changes. And I think for a lot of the changes in my life, like I can reflect and think back to a specific moment, and oftentimes they're a breakdown moment, like a time where I was releasing anger or having a good ugly cry. Like they're not pretty. They aren't pretty. Those times where like I was like, something needs to change. But then it always led me to that softening of, you know, surrender, and then like actually sitting with myself and setting the intention. And not always, right? Because like, I mean, I can go really far back to where I didn't feel like I had much of a spiritual connection, but it's like I went through that process. Maybe it wasn't as intentionally, like maybe it was more subconscious. But just going through things like moving, divorce, leaving religion, things like that, where I didn't feel like I was on much of a spiritual path, but I still like went through a very similar process, even though I wasn't doing it like consciously, right? But even like the changes that are taking place in my life right now, I still remember back when we were in that eclipse energy in April, setting some really, really big intentions. And then things just were really stagnant for a couple months, but I just kept trusting anyway, you know, because sometimes you set those big intentions and it takes time. And then all of a sudden, all these changes come up like a couple months later, with my husband changing jobs, with me getting a job offer. And I wasn't sure I was going to go back to work, because working on our business, right? I was like, okay, this is it. I'm enjoying staying home with the kids. This is gonna work. And then a couple weeks ago, my husband got a message from his friend just saying, hey, my wife has a job opening. Is your wife interested? And it was just like timing. And like, I'm a projector. Like those of you who are familiar with human design, my strategy is to wait for the invitation. And it's funny because I have job hunted off and on for years and never got anything. And then when I'm like not really trying that hard, but I'm just like trusting the process, and like the invitation came and I was like invited to apply for this job that I felt hesitant about because I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to go back and do something like that. And I couldn't see everything around the job, but it just felt right. Like it just felt right. So I took the job. This is just a couple weeks ago, and I didn't know a lot about it, and it's just unfolded over the past 2 weeks. And I am like continuously mind blown at how perfect of a fit it is with my schedule and it being remote, and with my kids and other opportunities within the job that I didn't even know were going to be there. And it's just like, oh my gosh, sometimes you just have to take that leap of faith and trust those inner feelings, even when you can't see the whole picture, you know? So anyways, I feel like all of this is tied to those intentions I set clear back in April.
Absolutely. Oh,
That
and
was
I
kind of
love
long,
that
but
message. No, but I love the
yeah.
message is that trust the unfolding, and so much of the changes we are moving through, guys, is because, and this is part of my belief, but it's also part of my experience. So, you know, the way I study astrology, but so much of the changes we are currently moving through, it is to get us back to trust our own internal guidance. It's because, you know, 2000 years ago, we came into an era where we were programmed or shown, and I'm not saying it was bad, I'm just stating something that, you know, people and places and things outside of us knew better for us. It was like we had to look outside of us for the way forward. And now we're coming back slowly. That's why this is a huge process of change. We're coming back in relying on ourselves, on our intuition, on the parts of our human experience that we can't see. Like so much happens in the realms of the unseen, in the spiritual realms, including our emotional awareness happens in the spiritual realms where we can't see. How do you see your emotion, right? Well, I mean, you know, we can cry, it physically comes out, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love what you're saying, because what you're describing is that surrender and total trust in things that we cannot see. And sometimes we just got to take that leap of faith and go for it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that if you're watching us on the replay or live today, that you've been experiencing some of this, even if you can't pinpoint necessarily everything, maybe, I mean, maybe you can, but I think it's starting to be quite evident, especially if we're into astrology, if we're into our spiritual practice or energy work or whatever, that we're starting to realize this is all about us getting back to ourselves.
Yeah. It really is.
Trusting the changes that are occurring, even though they're fucking uncomfortable and really, really, really hard.
Yeah.
So I love what you shared, Jess, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to those changes, especially the job front right now.
Yeah.
Plus, there was that North Node in Taurus is happening in our second house of money. So that's so cool. All right, what do we have here? What are people saying? Lots of comments. Sleep has also not been good for the last week. Lots of weird, intense dreams. When you ignore and neglect that inner wisdom, the body and universe will show you that the change is inevitable. Absolutely. Holy shoot. Is
Yes,
it ever? I've been feeling like ill. I'll tell you a bit about that, my experience with change lately. So Natalie is saying, me too, waiting for divine timing. Faith is take the first step, even though you don't see the whole stairs. Exactly, right?
Yes.
Sonia
I love that saying.
Yes.
I love it.
Take the first step. Yeah. Same for me. Sonia saying, my new job, I'm seeing it as an experience and no attachments. There is also so many opportunities at that job and different things to learn. It's like relearning what I like about a job and what I need from it.
Yes.
Wow, so cool. So cool. Yeah, and these changes are pretty intense, and I feel that the like our level of consciousness and awareness is expanded, and it's continuously expanding on this journey of forever evolving and coming back to remembering our soul's intention and living out that intention and that purpose in this life. And this Aquarius full moon has hit me straight in the face where I had to be extremely honest with myself, and I was reflected back to myself a lot of behaviors and patterns that I didn't like, and that actually made me feel uncomfortable, made me feel like a bad mom, made me feel guilty or ashamed, all those like low vibrational feelings that we go through probably on a daily or weekly level. All those South Node and Scorpio energies actually. And I had to face those feelings this week. And that is where I'm feeling the change personally right now, is internal on that level. It's like, all right, well, it's like that self-assessment. Do you know what I mean? Like that self-assessment of looking at yourself and your behaviors, and how we repeatedly, like we say we want change, and I'm talking for myself, we say we want change. I say I want change, and then the change comes, and then I'm scared shitless sometimes. And it's like, oh my God, like I have to put forth then the steps, the actions, and the effort, and the commitment, and the consistency.
Yeah.
To embrace these changes, because the universe is like, flatten my face, here's the change. Are you ready for it? And I feel that there's a lot of fear coming up lately around all those changes. Is like, can I do this? Will I be able to manage these changes? Is this the right path? I don't know if you guys question yourself sometimes, if you're, oh my God, it feels like I'm stepping back, because why is all these old patterns and cycles still coming up? But when in fact, the universe is just saying, here it all is, because this is what you're leaving behind. This is what you're ready to permanently shift. This is what you're ready to permanently let go of. And I feel that so many times when the permanency comes up into play, that's where the fear comes up and says, well, no, I'm attached to that, or I'm comfortable in that, even though it's toxic or it's not good for me anymore.
Yeah, I feel like the word responsibility is coming to me. Like, do you feel like for you, some of it is about responsibility?
It
like
is
taking
so much.
responsibility.
It is so much around responsibility. And
Yeah.
that, I think, was in French, we say la claque dans la face, là. The slap in the face was really me. It's like on a mental level, I already know this, but when your awareness shifts and you can feel it internally, it's like, yeah, you know, I need to take responsibility for my life and the choices I've made up to date, which all hold value because I'm learning. I'm human. I'm having a, you know, my beautiful soul in this human journey is learning. And it's learning to connect to a deeper level with its intention. And I was so unconscious for so long about that it's okay. It was all part of the process. But now the responsibility is hitting me straight in the face, because it's like, okay, well, you are the only one responsible for your choices, for your behaviors, for your patterns, for the cycles you're in, and for the life you are leading and have led up to date. What are you going to do about it now? How are you going to anchor that in your physical reality? That's Saturn, by the way, in the mix right now. So if you guys are feeling lately that, like Jess is stating, that responsibility coming up, that, you know, we can no longer project our shit on other people and say that it's their fault.
Yeah.
Like, we got to step out of those, that victim mentality and saying that life is happening to us. It's actually happening for us. It's just not always fucking easy to see when we're going through it, you know?
No, it's much easier to blame someone else or something else. Absolutely. It's harder to take that. It is. It's harder to take that good look at yourself and see, okay, where am I?
Yeah. And you know, Jess,
I need to change?
I had expressed this to you, and let me know what your insights are on this, but I felt so much deep liberation in the past, like 3-4 days, because I had an honest look at myself and I admit it. I admit it firstly to myself, which is already freaking hard. Like, how many of you have had to admit stuff to yourself and that's hard? You know? And then I shared it. And that is so liberating. Even though it's uncomfortable to say, you know what, I admit that I have not maybe taken responsible actions and choices in these areas of my life, but there's so much value in finally being honest. So I feel that that's two things that's been coming up, is responsibility and honesty lately. How about you? How are you feeling around the honesty part? Being honest with yourself, being honest with others, where you're at, of your truth, of speaking your truth, of being in your truth.
Yeah. I think the honesty definitely comes up for me too, like reflecting too, which all goes back to like I was saying earlier, the intentions, like big intentions I set a few months ago are very related to taking responsibility. And that does require me to be honest with myself about choices in the past and like, okay, well, what actually is going to change? And a big part of it for me, like when I say, okay, what do I have to be honest with myself? And a big part of it for me is like, I didn't communicate. A lot of the problems in my life and things that have happened, and that's not the only thing, but a lot of it is like, I didn't communicate clearly with other people. And like, that's been a big one for me. Well, and my Chiron is also in Gemini, which is all around communication.
Oh my God. Yeah. So by the way, guys, Chiron, Chiron is like our major healing themes in our life.
That can give you a clue.
Yeah. So it can give you a big clue in your chart. If you look where you have Chiron in your chart, you can see the biggest healing themes of your life right now. And then we look at the transits to see how you're evolving. So Chiron is in Aries at the moment, and it is helping us heal our self-identity, our sense of self. And so that we can step back into our power and realize that we have everything we need inside of us to move forward, and that we can trust ourselves. So I feel the gifts really that the planets are really even though there's a lot of challenging aspects that astrologers call squares right now, that just means there's 90-degree angles between the planets, like how they are in the astrological wheel. And the squares bring a lot of tension. And there's huge tension right now. And the tension happens because it wants us to ploop forward. Like it wants us to like let go of the tension. So there's lots of release that can happen right now, I feel, if we are aware, if we want it, you know, if we are ready and willing. And some insights came to me after a post I read from one of my favorite astrologers, Kaipacha, with New Paradigm Astrology. And he said, you know, why is it right now that society makes us feel so bad when we have fun?
I know. Yeah.
And the reason why he's asking that question, it's because we're going into the Aquarian age. We're here, right? And we had that full moon in Aquarius, and we have Saturn in Aquarius. And Aquarius is the opposite of Leo. We have the sun in Leo right now. And Leo is about individualization. It's your individual self, your creative self, the part of you that is has the self-confidence to know that you have gifts, you have everything you need, and you can go out there and share those gifts and have fun and be playful and enjoy your life. We are meant to enjoy our life. And the thing is, yes, being aware that this is the most difficult part of our lives, probably transition there from like 2018 to 2026.
Mm-hmm.
But are we just going to sit back and just be miserable because the energies are asking us to change and it's uncomfortable? Or are we going to balance out those energies and maybe start having a little bit of fun?
Yeah.
The last time you laughed a belly laugh? When's the last time you actually had fun without feeling guilty or like you didn't want to disturb someone else's peace because they're going through a difficult time right now? I don't know. These are just questions, you know, for reflection.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it hard for you to have fun? And I'm not just saying you, Jess, I'm like saying it.
Yeah.
I found sometimes I stop myself from having fun. I want it, but there's this just like dark cloud sometimes that stops me from having fun.
I think for me, sometimes it's the to-do list. Like I have a hard time letting go and having fun. Like if, you know, all the boxes haven't been checked on my list for that day, or like there's that thing I need to do. Like sometimes I forget that like we can put the list on hold and come back to it and we can just have fun right now, you know? That's probably for me, like, yeah, because otherwise, like I'm trying to let loose and have fun or relax too. Like sometimes one of the things I think is the most fun is just to be able to relax. Like to me, relaxing is fun. Like that's my form of fun. Like, yeah, I have small kids, so we play and do things and like playing with the kids, playing a game, and those types of things too. But I'm like, sometimes fun is just sitting and doing nothing. Is it just me? Does anyone else feel that way? I don't know. Yeah.
No, definitely. I think it's like, I think the fun is different for all of us, the way we're creative but I think right now, like, I think it's peace of mind.
Mm-hmm.
The fun can offer peace of mind. And Alicia says, so hard to have fun, not feel guilty. Why? Well, because I think that's societal pressure and our own pressure. Mm-hmm. And I think that right now our nervous systems are purging because we're receiving so many light codes and neutrinos from the sun. The sun is extra potent right now. And the sun is sending us, you know how the sun gives life, and we're no different. We're energetic beings, just like the flowers and the seeds that grow. And the sun is sending extra powerful neutrinos and energy light codes right now that is going to help our nervous system release that fear of yeah, and I think Jess, you had shared something around that, like scarcity and, or is it scarcity? I don't know how you say that
Scarcity.
word. Yeah, scarcity, or that lack, that, you know, that feeling of lack, or that survival mode feeling that most
Mhm.
of us have been
Yeah.
feeling. And these energies are actually bringing those up because they're like, okay, do you have your finances in order? Do you have your life in order? That's Saturn there saying all this. You know, are you taking your responsibilities? Do you have your resources set? Can you sustain yourself with the resources you have? Can you be independent? Like, we have all these things coming from each way with these energies that are happening right now. So it can feel hard to have fun when you're being like, okay, you know, you want all this, but are you able to sustain yourself? And actually, further than that, do you value yourself enough to have everything you desire?
Yeah. Yeah, I think too, like when you mentioned the nervous system, I think that's definitely related to being able to adjust, because it's like the patterning, like some of it's from childhood, some of it's from society, whatever it is, and it's different for all of us. But like when you start to just even have that awareness around it and be able to say, oh, okay, this is a pattern. I think that that's when, ooh, I don't even know how to say it. Like I feel like your body knows, like being like, and being able to see what your body does. Oh, I have a good example. I know, like I'm going to talk about the job again.
Oh yeah, well that's what
But,
you're moving through, right?
yeah, so when I was in my previous day job, which was, I quit in January, and when I was at that previous job, I was there for 15 years and I did live in survival mode. And it was an extremely stressful, high pressure job, and just too many hours, and I was commuting, and this is before we moved. Some of you know I moved this year. And I was in survival mode. I was, and I didn't even know it. I didn't even know what survival mode meant, really. Like I'd heard it, but I didn't even realize I was in it. And then after I moved and quit my job, moved to a smaller area, more rural area, that's when I got the awareness, because of how my body was acting, not having to go do that anymore. My body like freaked out. It really did. I literally couldn't relax. I didn't know how.
Mhm.
And it took months to like adjust. And a lot of it, I was like starting to do yoga and meditating and deep breaths and grounding. And a lot of it was just me talking to my body and being like, it's okay. Like talk to your body. And same thing, like, was it Alicia that said, like, why is it so hard to have fun, feeling guilty around having fun? Like, that may be a good place to start, is like when you are doing something fun, like talk to your body and just say like, hey body, we're having fun right now. It's okay to have fun. It's okay to have fun. Talk to your body, talk to your nervous system, take a few deep breaths. But anyways, when I took this job just barely a couple weeks ago, the day before I got a massive migraine, my whole body was tight. And that first day I was tight. And it's like my body was like, oh, going back to a job, you're going to be in survival mode again. And
Yeah, it
my
was like
body
that
just,
fighting, that readiness,
yes,
you know?
my body went right back into that. And I had to talk to myself and say, hey, it's different this time. Let's take some deep breaths.
Yeah.
It's different this time. The company culture at this place is different. It's not a survival mode type job. It's different. Other jobs exist. But like I really had to do a lot of deep breaths those first few days and really talk to my body. But yeah, like I definitely, I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like it was related to my nervous system for sure. Like,
Absolutely.
you know?
And I think that's what's shifting and changing if we're looking at the collective level right now, is that there's this split happening where there's still all those types of jobs and relationships that are stressful and people, places, and things, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the other part where we're already shifted in this new reality, a new timeline. Okay. There exists many timelines, and you can choose. This is where responsibility comes in. I feel that you can choose
Yeah.
the timelines you want to play in. What What do you want to play in? What belief systems? And again, belief systems are only belief systems. They're not the truth. They're belief systems. And you can choose the belief systems you want to play in. And you can choose what type of timeline you want to be in. And I want to circle back quickly to the neutrinos and the light code energy that I feel is coming through. And I don't know that much about 8-8 portal. I mean, I read up on it, but my God, like all I can say is my own experience. It's not just reading it in a book or reading about it astrologically or whatever, but I've had some deep release. And I feel that my body is talking to me more, and my third eye has opening, my visions are opening, my dreams are significant. And it's like I've been feeling all these past feelings that I can't tell. They're not all from this lifetime even, I feel, because I'm like, I can't situate where all these feelings are coming from. But I feel like I went through a significant internal shift where many things were like internally accepted and surrendered to.
Yeah. I feel like I had similar things and awareness come.
And like yesterday, I was doing my yoga before bed and my back cracked about 8 times with the twists and all that. I really feel like it was now my physical body is catching up to the internal releases that I have. And now and honestly, I have pressure in my lower back for fucking years now, 10 years maybe. And I finally felt a little relief last night. I was like, is this real? Like I felt the relief in my body. So how long have I been resisting what I've been feeling? Or I don't know, but sometimes it's because we're not aware.
Yeah.
Right? We're not aware. Yeah. We think it's normal to feel this way, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting. So Natalie says, yes, light codes. Wow, powerful and transforming right now. Alicia says our brains and our thoughts are so powerful. I think that our inability to have fun is actually our inability to listen and to allow ourselves to go against our conditioned beliefs from society. Yeah, well, that's it. We're breaking free from the conditioning. Sonia says, I feel the same. So many resistance came up and went. Yes, that's it. It's like, okay.
Yeah. And Sonia said, like what I was talking about, same thing, like she's going through like the same thing with her job right now. So yeah, we can relate on that.
Absolutely. Natalie says, during Lionsgate Way, I dreamt of my stellar origin. I totally believe you. And I also feel that. And Jess and I were discussing about Egyptian energies and how we can't always explain what we feel, but like how we connect to certain energies or archetypes that we can relate to, or we just feel it's real, it's real for us. And that's amazing. I'd love to hear more about your dream, Natalie.
Yeah. And anyone else, anyone else watching, if you had like some kind of dream or aha moment during Lionsgate, like let us know. I know for me, like my dreams were pretty intense too. Like I had a dream like where I was purging and I was very, very dark, but like it was like I was vomiting out like snakes and weird stuff. Like it sounds awful, but actually the feeling, and that's the thing, like you guys, if you're having dreams, like whether you're asleep and dreaming, or maybe like something comes to you and you meditate. I don't know for anyone else, but for me, when I meditate, sometimes I do go like into a dream sometimes.
Yeah, me too.
But like you can go look up your dreams and interpret your dreams looking up stuff, but like really it comes back to like, how did the dream make you feel? Right? So I had this dream that would look scary, but when I go, okay, how did that make me feel? It felt empowering, So Yeah, let us know if anyone else had dreams around Lionsgate.
That is
And
liberating.
if you didn't, that's okay.
And
Everyone experiences things differently.
yeah,
So
yeah. And I feel that all these energies, and whether it's astrology, Lionsgate, whatever, anything cosmic, galactic, these are all just tools. And there's no rules. You can manifest and feel and move through and purge and surrender at any given time.
yeah.
Oh, and feel all these things at every given time. So Sonia says she remembered a snake skin in my dream last night. Wow, cool. And Natalie
Yeah.
says, "Oh my God, that is amazing, Jess. Very liberating." Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's been a very liberating time. And I feel now it's like almost also a period of adjustment right now. Is that the changes are not finished? It's just that, like, we're in it, and
Mhm.
now it's like embracing it and maybe finding tools, including you being here today is wonderful because we're creating a community and we're coming together and we're sharing and exploring this journey together. And I love that.
Yeah.
And to receive guidance, to share guidance, you know, if you guys have guidance to share in this group,
Yeah.
it's your group. And Jess and I are not the only ones with insights and feelings and knowledge.
Yeah.
And you hold so much knowledge here. Those of you watching now and those of you watching on the replay, if you catch this, there's a message for you and we'd love to hear your message. And do not be afraid to share things that you see and that could be of value to the group and to Jess and I, because we really appreciate that. Definitely. Because let's face it, we're our own gurus and we're getting back to our own personal power, to feel empowered and to feel like we can, you know, we are on track, even though it doesn't always feel like that sometimes. And we're sometimes anticipating and waiting for when that manifestation will happen that we, you know, that we want, or that we want to, the experience we want to have. But I think we're well on our way. And the more we can support ourselves in that, the best, I think, you know. So
you gonna pull a card?
yeah, I feel like pulling a
I
card.
hear you shuffling.
I know, I'm shuffling.
Hmm.
In my dream, I looked at myself in the mirror and I had white light bluish eyes, the form of a galactic human. That's where I felt that I really saw my real origin. I love it. Like, do you feel, Natalie, that it could be like, is it Sirian energy, Palladian energy, like stellar? She says stellar. I don't know. I love uncovering more about all that information and too, because I'm super open to that. Like what's like that we're not the only energies around, and that energies is always shifting and changing. So there's always such a bigger energy unfolding, call it God, universe, source, spirit, whatever. Some that is will always be a paradox. Because like we're dogs chasing our own tails half the time trying to figure this out. There's nothing to figure out.
No,
you
we're
know
where we're supposed to be.
Exactly.
Right.
There's nothing to figure out, but I feel it's sometimes nice to have tools to navigate maybe the waves. And by the way, like our membership is open. We started supporting people. And we have our, I don't know if it's 6, we have our 6 founding members in there that were part of our Intune Moon program, which Intune Moon program will be in the membership, where you're going to be able to learn about the phases of the moon and how that can help you on a daily basis, right? And your monthly intention work. And then we have one new member that joined last week. So that's cool. So we're slowly, organically growing. And that's what Jess and I feel about what we're building and doing. You know, the Aquarian age is about building community of like-minded people and being our individual self to serve the whole.
Yeah.
And I feel that Jess and I are at a point right now where we want to serve the whole.
Mhm.
by being ourselves. And we want
Yeah.
the people coming in there to be themselves
Yep.
too.
Nope.
And, you know, while we offer our insights and our guidance and the wonderful tool of astrology to help us navigate this evolution. So Blue Avian, and it opened a portal within me, but we made a live with Mandela Star Sirius. So I don't know. Oh, wow. That's so cool, Natalie. I love that. I love you sharing more about that. All right. So what are we asking? I don't know. Do you have a
Blue
question,
Avian.
Jess? What are we asking for guidance this week before we make the live?
I feel like, how can we have more fun?
All right.
Is
Yes,
that a good, what do you guys think?
it is. Yeah,
Like,
guys.
Move
you
into some fun energy.
Yeah, fun energy.
Okay.
Fun energy, celebratory energy, creative
Yeah.
energy. And that's what I wanted to say earlier. Like anything where you can express yourself will be helpful to balance out what's happening right now. So regardless if that's being creative through art, dancing, moving your body, swimming, singing. You're not a good singer, who cares? Like sing your little heart out. You know, go out and do the things that you like to do. Anything creative right now will be like very beneficial. All right, so let's go. What do you have for us, Spirit? Can you give us a message, a guidance for us watching on the live and on the replay? What do we need to know about, you know, just going out and freaking enjoying ourselves a little bit here? And, you know, we don't always have to be stuck to our journey. Like we can take breaks and put the bags down. You know, you can put your backpack of shit down. You know, the heavy rocks that you're holding in your backpack, you can put them down a little bit. Enjoy yourself. Hello, come on. What is it? What are we needing to know through this tarot deck here? What's coming out? You know, I always wait till it pops out. Sometimes I feel hey, it popped out. It popped out. I want Jess and I to both this card. Okay, hello, the Page of Wands. She's a very creative energy. Wands are creative, spiritual energies. She looks like she's looks like she's really at a good place. Pages bring newness, information. They bring a new beginning, maybe a new creative adventure. I don't know how are you feeling this? I feel the flexibility. I feel the openness here.
Yeah. Almost like do something like new or something you haven't done in a while, something childlike. For me, like when seeing the card, I'm like, oh, maybe I need to pull out the paint with the kids, you know, get some paper and some paint out and like just do something that's just, you know, creative. And I don't know, we haven't got the paint out in a couple months, so I'm like, ooh. I don't know, like something childlike for me.
Yes, childlike,
something
exactly.
childlike.
Mm-hmm. And Leo, guys, the sun's still in Leo, and Leo is all about your self-expression and that creative and that fire within and that, yeah, playing. I almost feel like I want to go get dirty. And like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like to have my hands dirty or connecting with the earth or like just
make a mud pie.
Make a mud pie and have this creative I don't know, sense of carefree.
Yeah.
She's throwing it up in the air, so I feel that it's like, who cares what it's going to come out? You know, it's like taking a chance. You don't need to know the result of the fun you're going to have. This is inspirational energy. Right? So what is calling to your inspiration? So if everybody wants to just, you know, sit with that for a little bit. How are you feeling inspired lately? To throw something up in the air and see how it's going to come out. You know how I'm feeling it for me? I'm gonna start sharing. If you guys want to share, and we're gonna end soon here, but I've been feeling it like I want to come up with an idea. Like I was talking to you, Jess, about building a type of spread or a type of reading for people to guide them. And I want my creative part to come through to make something different.
Yeah.
To do something differently. Natalie's like, me too. I feel like being dirty, but in another way. Love it. And you know what? I love that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Natalie, because Venus has entered Leo yesterday, and Venus in Leo is like the hot passion. It's being sexy. It's being flirty. It's putting yourself out there. It's maybe dressing differently. It's a new hairstyle. It's all those like flirty vibes or being super ignited. So what a great way to have fun is to get out there and be flirty. That's a good way.
Yeah.
She can totally be flirty. Go out there and be like, yeah, let's throw all this up in the air and see what happens. Go have fun.
Yeah.
Explore yourself sexually. That's Leo energy, actually. Oh, that's why I've been so hot since last night. It could be very well be, Sonia. Absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
All right. So is there anything else that comes through? Jess, do you have anything else that's coming through, you think? Page of Wands?
No, I think.
How are you feeling
like
it, Alicia? Eh? I just want to read from the book for you guys, okay, quickly. Page of Wands, we were asking how to have a little bit more fun. It says, explosive, creative. Explosive creative. So explosive creativity and infectious enthusiasm. Yeah, like, can we start being more enthusiastic about what we're building and creating and doing? That can help us ignite the fire within, maybe. Ideas aplenty, creative beginnings, a newly found inspiration, honoring a new skill or passion, curiosity and trying new things, like Jess said, like trying something new, doing something different, gifting yourself permission to dream. Great energy for creative ideation and brainstorming, a youthful spark. I just love this energy. It's been 5 years. Well, Natalie, it's time to get going there, just even for fun. Like, find someone for fun. That's it. That's it. That's just happening. Never mind 5 years. You're going to put that to an end Saturday night there. I know you're going to a party Saturday. So, we
want to report.
We want to report. We want to report. Exactly. I agree. This is so fun. This is so fun. Yeah. So let's get our creativity on, our inspiration, that spark, whatever lights the spark within you. It's different for all of us. But I feel these energies needs to be balanced out, in that I think the last message I want to leave you guys with today, to give you a bit of guidance and inspiration, is with all this Aquarius energy, and it's ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is the shit disturber in your life, because sometimes we need to be disturbed to like move on and go towards the new, right? But at the end of the day, this Aquarian energy, it wants you to realize that you are serving the whole by being your individualistic self. Aquarius is about the whole, but it wants you to be yourself. It wants you to not suppress who you are. It wants you to show up in all of your sense of self, all of your Leo energies. And it wants you to serve by creating your vision. So it's not selfish to have a vision and build it and manifest it and create it. It's not selfish. It's actually serving the whole when you can come through in a creative way, in an inspiration way that makes you feel good, that raises your vibration and that raises the vibration of this whole planet at some point, you know, by being who you are. I don't know. One day at a time.
Yeah,
One day at a time.
we're doing it.
We're
One
doing
day at
it.
a time.
When we're doing it. And if you are interested in joining us in building and raising the vibration, we'll have some information for you. We'll have some links for you if you want to join. You're welcome. Sonia says thank you. And we have right now in the membership, you have access to the Aquarius full moon activation, which only means what is being initiated inside yourself for your soul's growth, and how are you shifting and changing with that Aquarius new moon. You have access to the Lionsgate portal transmission from Jessica that anchors in the energy in real life, you know, because we need a practical way to anchor in the energies. You have access to that. And then we have a coaching call coming up soon.
Yes, we do.
Where we're going to give
Our first one.
Yeah, our first coaching call is coming up. So those are live. And if someone can't be there, they're always recorded and sent out. So that's cool. And we're a nice little group right now. And we're only going to grow. So if you are not ready, that's fine either. But if you feel called to, you can try it out and cancel anytime too. That's no problem. And yeah, exciting times. So what else is going on too? Like, do we have anything else coming up? Trying to think. Well, we have the waning phase that we're entering.
Yeah.
So a phase of starting to just feel into yourself, be conscious, and we'll be back. Are you guys enjoying the group and how it shifted and changed? Jessica's having a lot of readings. I'm actually thinking of doing one too once in a while. Maybe alleviate you, Jess, like you've been doing it every week. But I could do some too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're seeing some likes and some love. So I think so.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, ladies, for these guiding energies. You are welcome, Alicia. Thank you for being there. We appreciate you and we appreciate all of your energy here. Any closing thoughts?
No, but I know I got to log into work in a couple minutes. So.
Yes, exactly. So let's
gotta go.
I never wanted
luckily,
to end, you know. I
don't have to drive anywhere. I can just hop off here and get right on.
All right. Well, I'm going to have some fun. I'm celebrating tonight, and my partner's starting a new job actually Monday too. We were talking about jobs, and this morning that's what I said. We're celebrating. We're gonna go kayaking. We're gonna go paddle boarding. We're gonna make a barbecue. Like celebrate. And actually, it reminds me, we'll make a little post. How are you celebrating this weekend, and see what people are saying. So
yeah.
Okay, cool, guys.
Good.
It was so
Thanks,
nice
everyone.
to connect with you. We'll connect with you soon. Have a really good day. Bye.
You gonna stop